How's it going, everybody? Good to see you guys again. This is episode 11 of But First Coffee. Pumped for another episode. I appreciate you guys sending me questions, and let's get into these questions without further ado. But first, coffee. Alright guys, so the first question of this episode. I've recently had some success in my life and my confidence is going up. But is there a fine line between confidence and cockiness? The answer to that question is absolutely yes. There's a huge difference between being confident and being cocky. And I kind of think that there is a fine line. Many people are going to have different opinions on this, but here's my viewpoint. My viewpoint is this. Confidence is great to have. I think as a person, everybody should have some level of confidence in them with whatever it is in their life, either their physical self, what they do for a living, basically anything. I think people should have confidence about. Cockiness, though, is where it gets to be bad. Not only does it not make you look good, but I think it negatively affects you as a person. So where's that fine line? I think it's basically a balance. Basically, you need to have a balance of your ego and humility. Ego is, this thing that, kind of drives you from day to day. It's how you feel about yourself. It's a little pep to your step. It's the bravado that you bring to the world. Humility is being, caring for others, putting other people first, not putting yourself, first when it comes to things, not being self-centered, that sort of nature. I think when you equal those out and have a nice balance, I think that's where confidence kind of meets. When you have a equal balance of humility and ego, that's where confidence lies. I think when you don't have any humility and you don't, think about others and everything's always for yourself, no one's going to think much of you, and I think you're not going to be able to influence and impact the world and yourself and other people as much as you could be. I think cockiness just looks terrible. I think it's a very unattractive personality to have. When you're cocky and you think you're, hot shit and you think you're the best at something and all this stuff, and people see right through that, and even worse if you're not all that you're caught up to be, it just makes you look like an idiot. So cockiness is definitely not good to have. But congratulations to you, for feeling confident with the things you do. I think it's just, not trying to, blow it up too much. I think, obviously you want to be able to stand tall and, be happy and obviously be confident with what you're doing. But I think it becomes cockiness when you're not being humble about yourself, when you're taking, be able to take, some, feedback and stuff like that and be open-minded. I think when you're closed-minded, that's when you're cockiness. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of go into this, but that's kind of my few little ideas that I have between confidence and cockiness. So, on to question number 2. Question number 2 is this. What are your tips on getting over bad experiences from your past? Well, I think we've all had, bad experiences within our lives. No matter, how severe, the experience is, everybody's had bad experiences. I think the biggest thing is, number one, accepting your past. It's the past. It's called the past for reasons because it's behind you. It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about it. It's part of history. You can't, go back and change it. It's behind you. And I think that's the first thing, is accepting the past. And understand that there's nothing that you can actually do about everything that happened within the past. There might be some things that you can do to change it or change some viewpoints that will help you. But I think in the end, you have to be able to accept the past. Another part would be seeing it how it really is and not worse than what it is. I think when we have bad experiences, we kind of hyperbolize, these experiences, and we think way too much on them, and we make them a bigger situation than they are instead of seeing it how it really is. I think once you see it how it really is and really accept it for face value, you're going to be able to get through it a lot easier. I think another great way to get through bad experiences or accepting bad experiences of the past is, talking to someone about it, writing about it, talking to yourself about it, really kind of wrap your head around the idea. When you kind of start to work through your emotions and the ideas of things and asking better questions of why and the how and all that stuff like that, I think you kind of get some kind of level of resolve within yourself that can really help you get through this experiences. So those are my few little tips on how to get through some bad experiences. On to question number 3. But first, coffee break. This is good. Question number 3, this is a huge question. I put it towards the end because I think it can apply to a lot of people. definitely applied to me, and it still does today. So this is the third question. I'm starting to branch out into new hobbies, but my friends don't support me. What should I do? So I think this is definitely huge for everybody. I think we've all kind of gone to certain directions within our lives where, we go after this thing that we want to do, but we get negative feedback from friends, family, peers, whatever it may be, and they're holding us back and they don't want us to do these things, or they don't support us. In terms of friendships, I think the first thing you kind of have, the first little tidbit thing you have to get over is why they don't support you, and is it because you're actually doing something that's not good for the world or yourself or for other people? Is it actually harmful? I would say 9 times out of 10 it's probably not the answer. I would say that it's probably something else. And here's the reality of it: if your friends aren't supporting you, you need to find new friends. Real, true friends. I talked about this in my last but first coffee video. Links right there. Real, true friends want to support you in every way. They're real with you. They tell you how it is, but they're very supportive and they're there for you at all times, no matter what the situation is. And if you have friends who aren't supportive of what you're doing, I think it's time to get rid of them. I've gone through that same thing, with the whole fitness thing, YouTube. I mean, this is still super new to me, and I've had so much negative feedback from other people, but I've had a lot of positive feedback too. And I think it really comes down to doing what you want to do, doing what you love, and just getting rid of those friends. I've had friends who've put me down, or friends who have unfollowed me, or never supported what I've done, and it could be for multiple reasons. But I think the reality is that you have to do what makes you happy at the end of the day. And if your friends aren't there to support you, then that's their loss. I think you need to find new friends who support you in everything you do and can connect with you and understand, the new things that you want to do and the new hobbies and avenues that you want to take. And if they can't accept it, well, you just need to move on, and they just need to move on too. There's no easy way to get through it. It's tough because I feel like, especially with our closer friends, we want that positive feedback. They're important to us in lives, but what's more important, the friendship or doing what you love and putting yourself first? And I think putting yourself first in terms of these situations are very important. So that's kind of my advice to you guys. So that concludes this episode of But First Coffee, episode 11. I really appreciate you guys sending me questions. As always, please keep sending questions, either in the comments down below, either direct message, or if you know me personally, text messages. I'm always more than willing to take any kind of questions. Obviously, self-help, development is really what I'm focusing on, but I'm open to other things too. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe down below so you can stay up to date with my videos, and please like this video if you like the video. I'll catch you guys in the next episode of But First Coffee.